Hi, I'm Aubrey Adams, and this is former U.S. Attorney Bob Troyer. And we just watched Alex Berenson talk about his book, Tell Your Children the Truth About Marijuana, Mental Illness, and Violence. And what was your reaction to that talk?
Well, the book's amazing, and I was so glad to hear the talk, because what we need around this topic is people, regardless of politics or preconceptions, just to talk about the real science, the actual impacts on society that this industry, the commercialization industry, has had, that I saw as U.S. Attorney. I saw all kinds of community harm, from high-level international drug trafficking down to street-level impacts on family and mental health issues. And it's hard to have that conversation because there's almost it's like a political and almost a religious article of faith with the left, that to be pro-marijuana now, especially for younger people, especially for millennials. I'm a Democrat. I've been liberal my whole life. My view of this issue is nothing to do with politics. It only has to do with actual experience, cases I've seen and impacts I've seen. And it's just, to use the term Alex used in the talk, it's an enraging thing to sit and see the societal impacts without people being educated about the health consequences, and to see a government allowing, normalizing, encouraging people to put something in their body when they're young that we really don't know the extent of the harms.
Yeah.
And so it's great to see a momentum toward, and I think Alex represents this in his work, momentum toward apolitical, scientific, rigorous educational discussion about impacts rather than political shrieking.
Absolutely. And you talked about organized crime that you witnessed and helped prosecute, right? Can you elaborate a little bit more on certain cases that you've worked on?
Sure. I can talk generally about the dynamic. What happened when we legalized here, which nobody predicted, certainly the industry didn't care about it, was it created for the first time ever a theater of operation for the production of an illegal drug. Prior to 2012, in Colorado, all the drugs, heroin, everything else, even marijuana, the vast majority of it all came in from somewhere else, transported in here, sold or moved through here. It was a sea change when marijuana was legalized here. It was normalized, so it was less likely to be enforced against. Cuban organized crime organizations, Mexican, Asian, and others realized that would make them less likely to be caught, less likely to be pursued. So they located here. They set up operations here that produced tons and tons and tons of pure black market marijuana, which they could sell on the East Coast for $5,000 to $7,000 a pound. So if you had a grow of even 150 plants on a 60 to 90 day grow cycle, plant that produces 2 pounds, you could make $5 to $7 million a year growing those plants in a house. And so the legalization here became a magnet for those organizations, and they do environmental harm, they do harm to children who are using here, they did a lot of harm in human trafficking and in other crimes associated with those drug trafficking organizations in order to get the product back east.
So I'm hearing you say that the legalization of marijuana invited organized crime into the state of Colorado.
Yeah, absolutely.
And could you elaborate a little bit more about the environmental harms? Is it the chemicals they were using? I know they rerouted electrical systems in homes and destroyed a lot of homes. Is that correct?
A lot of used, especially in the black black market grows a lot of pesticides, fungicides that are illegal, that are banned in the United States because they are nerve agents. So they'll kill rodents. They also kill people very quickly. They kill large mammals very quickly. They get into the food chain. So if the grows are outdoor grows, like in a national forest or in a more public place, mice eat them, rabbits eat them, then the coyotes eat them, then on up the food chain, and all those animals are killed by those nerve agents. Those nerve agents get into water systems. But look, the main thing, even for indoor grows, that the people in the industry don't want to talk about because it's a philosophical conflict with the other articles of faith on the left side of the political spectrum, is marijuana doesn't grow naturally in this environment. Marijuana in this environment, to be produced for profit, takes an enormous amount of water and an enormous amount of electricity. So even a legal grow or an indoor home grow where you're not killing animals with a nerve agent, you're still using an enormous amount of fossil fuel energy and precious water to produce a crop that there's yet to be proven a public benefit from.
So do you think there's a contradiction in the people that are running for office and stuff, that are wanting to have better energy production and stuff, and supporting the environment, but then pushing the legalization of marijuana at the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a big conflict there, and the reaction when I've raised this issue and raised that conflict with folks is silence.